Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together with a full face makeup tutorial. There's going to be some beauty on the outside and some beauty on the inside. As we do that tutorial, we're also going to be learning a Bible verse. And so, what is it that we are going to be doing today? I am very excited about our look today because it has one of my favorite colors, which is purple. I don't actually have a favorite color because there are so many delightful colors. I just have a bunch of favorite colors. So, what is our theme for today? Our easy makeup theme for today is going to be how to create a fresh over 40 look with purple and blue eyeshadow. So let's go ahead and grab our lashes, grab our palettes, because we are going to be jumping into some Juvia's Place today. And then go ahead and get on back. Oh, your lashes. Don't let me forget that. And then go ahead and get on back here and let's get going. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Can't wait. Oh, sorry. I love the theme song. Okay. So our foundation verse for this podcast is going to be Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then I mentioned that we were going to be learning a Bible verse while we're in here today. And that is all going to be coming from Color Me James. This is our book for season 3. It is going to take us from James chapter 1 all the way through the end of chapter 5. We're just going to be memorizing and singing our way through. So go ahead and get your copy of that. It's available in an ebook, also in, which is a PDF copy. And then we've got the paperback version from Amazon. And then we've got the spiral bound version, which you can get from my website. Any way you choose it, great way to work your way through the book of James. And so it's got puzzles, it's got journaling, it's got Bible study. It's just got lots of things in there. So I know this week, we're actually going to be doing, I believe it's a matching list. Those are a little more difficult, I think, but that's what we got in store for us this week. So our verse that we were working on last week is coming from James chapter 3. We're in verse 3 to 5. Let me get that. I think I put the song in there for you. I did. Okay, you ready?
Out on the trail with the morning sun, she holds the reins, her ride's begun. A gentle pull, the bit obeys. That wild horse walks the narrow way. A bit in the mouth of a horse controls the whole horse. A small rudder on a huge ship in the hands of a skilled captain sets a course in the face of the strongest wind. A word out of your mouth may seem of no account, but it can accomplish nearly anything or destroy it. She's capped.
Okay, and I'll let you listen to the rest of that on Apple Music or Spotify or wherever you catch your music online. Also on Sailor Soul's YouTube channel, it's all on there too. So that was James chapter 3, verse 3 to 5. And then we're going to press on today. And let's take a look at, well, if I can get it going here, there we go. And then let's go ahead and take a look at our next verse in this chapter that we're working on. So we're going to be in 3, 5 to 6. So we're picking up the tail end of verse 5. And that's going to continue that thought we're pressing onward with talking about metaphors, comparisons between what an uncontrolled tongue can do for the good or for the bad. So our verse for this week is going to be, it only takes a spark. Remember to set off a forest fire. A careless or wrongly placed word out of your mouth can do that. By our speech, we can ruin the world, turn harmony to chaos, throw mud on a reputation, send the whole world up in smoke and go up in smoke with it. Smoke right from the pit of hell. And again, another Bible verse that's got me flagged by Google. You can't say hell, evidently. So you'll see I've got it H3LL just so I can get it in there, but so that I don't get flagged. So, you know, fun times, good times, woo-woo. Yeah, and yes, the answer to that is I am still in Facebook jail. Yes. So that's a fun and interesting thing. Today, we're going to be playing with some Juvia's Place. I'm actually probably going to be dipping into about 3 different palettes, but the palette I'll be using the most is going to be the Afro Galactic. So you can see that one here. We've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 colors going to be coming from that. Like I said, we're playing with kind of blue, a little bit of purple, a little bit of pink, little touch of blue. Anyways, it's going to be fun. So let us go ahead and jump into it. Oh, I don't think I finished up that train of thought, which was that all the makeup that I'll be using today is going to be available for you to just click on the link and get there on my website, in the show notes, the description, you know, wherever you are, you should be able to find it. So tried to make that super easy for you so that, you know, if you don't have something that's similar to the color that we'll be using, then you can get there and find that. So I've got the chat turned on. And so good morning. So go ahead and give me a shout out. Let me know where you are coming from. Nice group this morning. Good to see everybody. So we are going to jump in. We are going to be using an eye primer today because when you start getting intense in colors like that, we're going to need to kind of flesh that out a little bit to make sure they really, you know, show their true selves. And then we're going to do a little fun something with our lipstick just to give a little playful spirit to it. So let me stop teasing you and let's just get in there going. Okay, so I have got my Benefit Professional Primer, and this is the Professional Matte Primer. I don't know, I know I found a link to it once upon a time on Amazon, but this might just be something that's like exclusive to Ulta because that's the easiest place I found it. But this is where we're going. So just give it a little bit of a shake. We're going to uncap it. We're going to give us just a nice little glop of that. There we go, between the fingers. And that is going to go anywhere on your face that you might have fine lines and wrinkles. Hello, Anthea. Morning, Rachel. Some of the other names, I don't recognize the screen names, and so I don't know your first name. So fine lines and wrinkles. We're going to make sure we get that around our lips. We are working with a dark purple lipstick today. Or I don't know if dark's the word. It's not really bright either. Anyways, purple lipstick today. So we want to make sure that we get around those lips really good because we want it staying in place. We do not want that purple creeping out and making us look like it's more of a Halloween look than a makeup application for your daily wear. So we got that going. We're going to, like I said, we're going to use the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime. Let's get that on our lids for today. Just giving that a little bit of a mix. We don't have a cut crease day, not today, but we just want those colors to stay nice and vibrant. So we're just going to give a little bit of that on our lids. There you go. Yeah, I was cracking up. Yeah, so I did start a little bit late this morning. I was cracking up. If like literally as I was going to hit play, my podcast microphone fell off of its stand. So if I had hit play like 1 second previous, y'all would have been all part of that little fun thing that happened. So anyways, I got her all nestled back and she's good now. So we are all primed and looking a little crazy this morning. Yes, I love purple too. So let's go ahead. I've got my beauty blender already dampened. It is ready to go. I'm going to grab that Bye Bye Under Eye. And let's go ahead and get a little bit of that. We're just going to get a little ribbon if I can. There we go. Ooh, it started to come out. There you go. So with being in the Facebook jail, I can see that comments are coming in, but I can't actually look at them or respond to them. So I know a lot of you kind of hang out there. So let me know in the chats and comments, how was your week? Anything fun happened? Did you do any fun makeup looks? Did you try the one from last week? Because I really liked the one from last week. And then also, what else we got? Oh, any question that you may have, whether it be something about the Bible verse or something about, what I'm doing with the makeup right now, ask that on the platform that you're watching this on, and it should come through to me over here, and I'll do my best to get that asked and answered while we are live today. So we're just going to blend that out. Any place you've got any kind of darkness, redness, discoloration, we're just going to use that to give us a nice level playing field so that our foundation can do its job a little more efficiently. So I got some redness here. I'm just going to tap that out. I got redness on my nose. I'm going to tap that out. Little darkness here, little darkness there, here, there, and everywhere. Here, what is that? Here, chick there, chick everywhere, chick. I don't know. Oh, it's Old MacDonald Had a Farm. I was like, what song is that? Okay, I don't know. I guess I need more coffee. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our foundation. So this is going to be the Juvia's Place, and this is the I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. Yes, so great question. So that's kind of big for the screen, so I won't put that up there. But yes, so in the event of what happened on Facebook, which is very tragic, and I just cannot tell you how upsetting that is to me, because I have family members that have passed away. And yeah, right, free Wendy from Facebook jail. Literally, I had a friend send me a picture, and somebody relative had posted this entire arsenal of guns and ammo and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, look, I've been in jail for 2.5 months for posting Bible verses, and you're letting people with guns and ammunition not going to jail for anything. I don't know. It just seems wrong. Okay, I'll stop whining. Let's change the subject. That's something more positive. So the good news is I still have YouTube. I still have Instagram, even though it is the sister company of Meta. I don't understand that, but whatever. So sad for you guys on Facebook, because I do my best to make that a place where we can all respect each other and enjoy each other's company and post content that matters, that is relevant, and that I feel Facebook users would like. So I do my part. They're just not doing theirs. And I haven't heard a thing, so I don't know anything about it. So let's press on. We're going to use our I Am Magic. We're just going to get a little glump of that right there. And then we're going to kind of put it where we want it. And yes, so, and that is true. So for the month of October, I started a walking challenge. It is through, what's the name of that? Map My Walk. And so I'm walking a mile every day, and I have invited friends and family and whoever wants to do that walk with me. So the only exception to that mile a day thing is if the Twitter, TikTok, yeah, all the things. If you are a person that likes to truly respect the relax on Sunday, don't do any work, then you could do 2 miles on Saturday and not do the walking on Sunday. I'm kind of a creature of habit sort of person. So personally, I don't consider that to be work. So I'll be doing it on Sunday as well. Yesterday, I got out for that first day with my dogs, and Phoebe's a senior. And so she didn't make it very far. We had to, I don't think we even went a quarter of a mile, and had to turn around and come back and let her in. But she had a great time. She used to be my walking buddy. She was my marathon trainer, half marathon trainer dog. But now she's almost 13, and she just can't quite do that. But her tail was wagging. She was having a good time, and true to form like she does, she beat on everything. So I don't know how a dog could have so much, but there we go. Let's see, what do we got? Let's see. Yes, Twitter's kind of hard when it comes to makeup thing, because you only get 150 characters, so it's kind of hard to put stuff in there, but I do my best to try to stay on Twitter as well. Yeah, that Twitter account has been around for quite some time. Okay, so once we've got our foundation all nice and blended out, because we were like talking and just keep on blending, and so I've got the Mac Studio Fix Pro Set Blur, and we are going to use that. This comes with a puff already in it, so we're just going to take that out. You grab this little nubby tab here, and then your powder. It has like a little screen, so you're just going to set that there, and then that gets it on the puff for you. So we're just going to set that. Everywhere you just put that foundation, you're going to set that. So you're just pressing it in. Not a whole lot of like side to side action. You're mostly, setting. And this does, I was checking last week after we had this conversation, and this does have, while this one is translucent, it does have variations of color. There's not like a lot of shades because it is a translucent, but if you have more pigment to your skin than I do, then that would definitely be an option for you. I would encourage you, go to like an Ulta and try them out and see which one is best for you. The other thing about using some of the other shades is it can also help you to get remedy an undertone if you don't like it, or enhance the undertone if you do like it. So your call. I know I had several women at Ulta that would come in and they would be one kind of undertone, and they would, they'd want to be peach when they're actually olive. While I'm not a proponent of that, I cannot control what look it is that you want. And so my responsibility there was to help you to get the look that you want. Okay. So we are just about set here. I'm just going to close that down, put that back in there. We shouldn't need that anymore unless something happens with fallout to the eyeshadow, which is not a normal thing. So we have an even playing surface now. Let us go ahead. I'm going to grab my contouring brushes. Well, maybe. There we go. I'm going to start out with this one. This is a dual-ended foundation brush, but we're going to use this end here for the dark contour. So I'm going to grab my KVD Everlasting Shapeless Light Refill Contour Palette, and we're going to start with the flat side of that. I'm in this middle one this week, so we're just going to get it on one side of that. Going to go from the top of the ear in a curved motion to the corner of the eye. We're staying above the hollow of the cheek there. And then right beside that hairline. There we go. Same thing on the other side. We're going to stay with that flat side. We're just going to go right up next to that hairline. I'm going to just put a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of buff it out in circular motion, so it just kind of softens it, but it gives us a little bit of shape to our face. Now we're going to switch to the skinny side of that. We're going to go here, from the ear to the corner of the mouth, under that jawline. That's going to give us the illusion that we have a little more jaw than we actually do. Give a little more shape to that face and kind of pull it in, especially if you have right here a sagging chin, or you have maybe a double or triple chin or something like that. It's not gonna, magic pill. It's not gonna make it go away, but it will give the illusion that it is less than it actually is. Oh, and I think I forgot to tell you that your Bible verse is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. So now we're gonna take that same skinny side. We're gonna go to the inside of the nose, right alongside that nose, right here, and then under that tip there. This is going to narrow in our nose, and we will add some highlight to the top of that here in just a second. I'm going to grab my Aflano palette, which I'm still using and liking pretty well. This is the Aflano, I think it's called Blush and Highlighter palette. but we're going to be in these here today. Now, we got a lot of weight happening with the purple, but we're still going to be living here because of the pink that we're going to be using for the blend out. So I'm going to grab my MAC. This is my blush brush. I have no idea what number it is, like maybe 113. So we're just going to go here in that pink. I'm just going to go like twice because these are pretty pigmented. Right on the top of that, right up the middle, same. One tap right up here on top of that. And then whatever's left on your brush, just give a little tip of your nose right on your chin. We don't want to add like a whole lot of color, just a little bit of color. Okay, I'm going to set that brush aside. Here we go. I'm going to grab my Anastasia. This is a highlighter brush. I'm going to go in this light one here. I think between the three of these, you could use this one and this one, but I think this one might be off just a little bit for the colors that we're using today. So we're just going to brush that in there, right on the top of the cheek, right beside the eye, top of the cheek, right beside the eye. We're going to go down the center of the face, hit that tip of that nose. Right here, making sure we're hitting that Cupid's bow. There we go. Okay. We're going to do like kind of step one to the lips, and then we're going to come back and do a little something at the end because we need the lips to dry fully before we add a little something to it. So before we press into our lips, we're going to say our Bible verse together. It is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. And of course, as any good waitress would do, I waited until the timing of that was like right in the middle of the verse. So it is about coming around to you now, and we will say that verse together. While you're doing that, go ahead and grab your KVD. I believe this is Dark Wisteria, and then we've got the NYX Amethyst Suede Matte Lip Pencil. Here we go. Okay. It only takes a spark, remember, to set off a forest fire. A careless or wrongly placed word out of your mouth can do that. But our speech, by our speech, we can ruin the world, turn harmony to chaos, throw mud on a reputation, send the whole world up in smoke and go up with it. Smoke right from the pit of hell. H-double hockey stick. James 3:5-6. Okay, so now let's get our lips ready so that we can do that last step there. So again, I'm using, this is the NYX Suede Amethyst Lip Pencil. We're just going to give a nice lip because the lip liner and the lip are about the same color. You just need like a single line, and then we'll do the lip color. Here we go. So right here in the Cupid's bow. Just a nice little V going on there, and then we're going to round that out just outside the lip line to that outside corner. Give yourself a nice clean line there, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. There you go. Now we got a nice shape to fill in with our lipstick. Now we're going to go to the bottom, gives ourselves like a little starting point there. Again, just outside the lip line. Now we're going to round that out to the outside corner. Take a step back, make sure you like the shape. Both sides are even. All right. Now we're going to grab that KVD Everlasting Liquid Lipstick. This, I think, is actually the Roxy, but it's very similar to the Dark Wisteria, which is the one that I gave you the link for. Very, very similar colors. So we're going to take that. Once you put this on, you're going to leave your lips just a little bit separated till that dries down. Then you're good for the rest of the day. This is an all-day lipstick. As you can tell, because yesterday, when I was testing out how we were going to do our lip for today, it's still there. I have washed my hands numerous times. I have taken a shower. I have slept on it, and it's still there. So, yes, sign me up for that lipstick. Okay, so we're just going to take that. Let's do the Cupid's bow area first. I'm going to go ahead and go back into the container. Let's do the other side. Really following that lip liner line that we made. We're going to go in one more time. Okay. Now, what? Sorry, I've got a message. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna need. Oh. Okay, so we're just gonna leave that like that for just a minute. We're gonna come back to the lips and add the finishing touch at the very end to it. So we're gonna leave our lips just a little bit separated while we talk. What happens? What happens? Great question. So if you close your mouth and leave your lips together, when you open them back up, it's like paint on a wall. It will peel off a little bit and separate, and it's going to the top or it's going to the bottom, but you're going to end up with a space that's not there. So leave them just separated a little bit till it completely dries down all the way. Okay, so now let us play. So I'm going to start out with, let me just show you some of the colors we're going to be using. We'll start out with that, and then it'll save me time later on. Okay, so Afro-Galactic. I mentioned we're going to be using this one. So whatever palette it is you've got, Afro-Galactic. We're going to be living a little bit in Discovery. We're going to use a little bit of Light. We're going to use a little bit of Mars. We're going to use a little bit of Orbit, and then some Alien. Now, just because I want to make sure we got some nice purple punch in here, I may or may not use a little bit from the Warrior 3 palette. And the only color in this one I'm looking at is probably this luscious purple. I like that it's a little more of a true kind of crown purple color. So we may use that to just intensify that color a little bit. But we are definitely going to be using the Wahala 2. Now, the Wahala 2, we're going to be using the Fake, which is just a nice shimmery purple. Give us a little iridescent going on there. And then we're going to be using Dope. But we're going to start out with the Shakara right here. So Shakara, Dope, and Fake will be the ones that we'll be using from this palette. So I'm literally just going to have a whole bunch of things opened up here. And try to not drop anything on the floor. So we're going to start out with our Morphe M433, just a nice fluffy brush. We're going to go into that Warrior 2 to the Shakara right here. We're just going to get a little bit of that, and that's just going to go up here on the brow bone so we have something to blend into. There you go. Just right there up on the, just on the very, very top of that. It's kind of a non-color color. So if you have more pigment to your skin than I do, you may choose to use maybe a little shimmery tan or beige or something that's maybe a little bit lighter than your normal fleshy color, but in that vein. Now, I will say that the Shakara, because it's got a lot of shimmer, it's a little bit clear, so you might try this one too. It may elevate it too much, so see what works for you. With this one, the good thing is it's way up there on the top, And if you need to darken it up a little bit as we add the colors on, you should be able to do that. No problem. It shouldn't be an issue. Okay. So now we're going to, I think we're just going to grab a regular eyeshadow brush. So I'm going to grab this one from MAC. I have no idea. Just a regular shadow brush. You could even use one of those sponge things if that's what you want to do. We're going to go into the Afro Galactic right here, and we're going to go into Alien. And so you're going to do Alien. I'm going to do just a little nice swipe on both sides of the brush here. That's going to go on the inside. And we're going to do about a third of the lid down here. We're going to go from the inside corner up to that brow bone. I said it again, not brow bone, socket bone. The socket bone right there. And we're going to go just a little bit more than halfway. So I'm going to go with, let's call it 2/3. We're just going to put that there. We'll come back and touch it up. So don't worry about it getting soft or anything like that. Okay. Just a nice light color right up to there. Like I said, it's not a cut crease per se, but it's like a modified. Okay, there we go. Let's set that down. Now I want to give a nice dark swoop to the outside corner. And I think, let's go ahead and do that. I think we're going to actually start out with the color I told you I thought we may not use. We're actually going to use. Okay, so Warrior 3 palette. We're going to go right in here in this one. And I want kind of a nice crisp line. So I'm actually going to use, I think we'll do this one here. Nah. I want to be able to blend it out and have it look nice and crisp. So I'm going to do a liner brush. This is a MAC 263. We're just going to use an angled liner just because I want a nice clean line to start out with. And then we can soften it a little bit. So we're going to get it just on the face of that brush, just right on those tips. And just tap it out so you don't end up with any fallout from that. We're going to go right here on that bone, and we're just going to follow that out to the outside edge. So right here on that bone, and we're just going to follow it out. That's just going to give us a nice clean line. And then we're going to come back here just to right there. So kind of a weird thing right now. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. And don't worry, it's not going to stay like this. And then bring it back in over here. Now that just gives us a nice edge. Now, for you hooded eyed girls, as you're looking forward, you want to be able to see that purple line that you just did peeking up above the fold of your eye. So you should see that purple right there like that. That's going to give our color, force it upward a little bit and really open up that eye and kind of cause you to not notice the sagging skin you have right there. Okay, so now that we got that, we're going to blend that out just a little bit because while that is a nice clean line, it's a little bit strange looking. So I'm going to grab this. Let's do this one. This is a Morphe M124. And we're going to use the tip of it. It's a little compact, a little bit firm. We're going to use the tip of that in that same color and go just above where you did that line. So we're just going to add a little color in a wider space, but that's going to let that line stay nice and clean. And we're coming out just a little bit over here. And then we're going to come in just a little bit. I'm going to keep everything really on that outside corner. But we are going to fill it in just a little. Okay. Any fallout? You see any fallout yet? Go ahead and grab your fluffy brush. And before it decides to set up house, just swoosh it away. Okay, we're going to set that aside for just a minute, and we're going to grab our Afro Galactic palette. I've got that same brush in my hand still. Afro Galactic. We're going to go in this right here, which is Mars, just a little bit. This time we're going to use the side of that brush. Same brush. We got that purple going on. And we're going to put it right here. Going to give a little in. Make sure you swipe it in the right color. Right here, just like that. It's a little bit richer of a purple. Then we're going to go to the tip and just get a little bit of that right there. Okay, fallout. And we're going to get a smaller brush. Let's take this right here. This is a smudger, an M508 from Morphe. We're going to go into Mars right here, and just on the tip of that, we're going to grab a little bit of that, and let's go right here. Get it right there on the outside and just flick it up a little bit. Okay, now I need to soften this line I got going on up here. A little bit harsh, you think? Okay, so let's grab... I'm actually going to use... This is an angled shadow brush. It'll work, though. It's a MAC. Who knows what it is. We're going to go into... I think it was it light? Hang on, it might have been over here. This is what happens when you use multiple palettes. It gets you a little confused. It wasn't spirals. It wasn't fake. It wasn't too much. It must have been... Okay, I'm going to go with Discovery. Here we go. This right here. A little bit lighter of a purple. Has a little bit, tiny bit of a pink to it. You're just going to tap that. We don't want too much on there. We just want a little hint of it. And right where the purple is meeting the white, we're going to turn that brush sideways. And we're just going to put that right on the top. And you're just going to blend that ever so slightly. Right where those two colors are. Now, if you feel like maybe you took too much off, you can come back in. Just put a little bit back in there. Still need a little softness on the top. Grab your fluffy brush you had with that white on there. Smudge from the white side of it. There you go. And now that is blended out just a little bit. So you can see what we got going on now. So we're going to add just a little tiny bit of fun with that orbit right there. Now I want to be very controlled about this. So I'm going to grab another one of those little tiny smudgers. This one is the 213. It's a little softer, but we're going to take that one. We're going to go in orbit, and I'm just going to literally swipe it once because I don't want too much blue in here. And right here on the inside of this, I'm just going to put some of that blue right there. Okay, it's not coming off as much. There we go. There we go. We're just going to add a little hint of that right here. And then just go over the edge a little bit so that it's kind of softened and blended out just a smidge. Now I want to take the tip of this right here and just go in there a little bit. And I'm going to add just a little bit right there. Ah! It happens. Now you know this is real. It's live. We're going to add another little bit just right over here. Okay. I feel like I want just a little extra, like right there. I'm just going to take that, which is light. I just want to go over this just a smidgey right there. I wanted it just a little more pinky than what it was. There we go. Taking that white and just blending that out a little bit. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so this is what we've got going on right now. Now I want that alien, which is this lighter color. I feel like it needs to be just a little tiny bit lighter on the inside. So I'm going to grab let's see, how many brushes can I use on one eye look? Here we go. This is a Morphe M321, little fluffy, very kind of like using your finger a little bit. It's just a nice fluffy. We're just going to add a little bit of light to the inside corner. So I'm going to go in that Shakara, the one we had up on the top there, just a little bit of it right on that tip. And we're just going to go right here. I just want to make it a little bit whiter. There we go. Right here on the inside. Okay, now fall out. All right, so now you can see what we've got going on as far as the colors go. So let's go ahead and play a little bit with the under part of the eye. So under the eye, now I do have a bit here. So I'm going to grab my, my MAC and let's just brighten that up just a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, so under the eye, we're going to use a little bit of purple, a lot of it of blue, and then we'll do our eyeliner. So let's go ahead and grab, this was the M508. We're going to add the purple first, the dark on the outside, and then we'll come in and really add that, that blue and that purple. So that's going to be in the Afro Galactic palette. We're going to be here in, what is that one? Mars. And then we're going to touch it just a little bit with stars. Ooh, Mars and stars. Ooh. Okay. So tip of that right here on the outside. You're only going to go about a third of the way in. And that's going to connect to what you did on the top. There you go. Now we're going to take the stars. We're just going to give a little tap of that. We're just going to go right here on that outside corner and then go up and around with that. So outside corner right here and then around to that upper edge right there. We just want to make sure that those are nice and colored together and that they are unified as we come around that corner of your eye. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and dust that brush off and we're going to use it again. Let's go ahead and go in. I'm going to do the orbit right here. Right on the tip of that. Orbit's going to go on the inside. meet that purple. And then we're going to dust just a little. I'm actually going to use the side of the brush. I just want a little bit of that coming over here, like right under that purple. There we go. Okay. Wow, it's coming out so pretty. Okay, now let's do a little bit. Let me see if there's anything I have missed here. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take... I don't have any brushes left. We're going to use this right here, which is the Shakara. I'm going to clean off... What is this one? This is going to be the M213. We're just going to dust that off on that tissue. I just want it on one little inside tip, and we're going to go right here. There, look how that just made that pop. Nice. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, now that we got that, let's get some liner going on here. I am going to be using the Egyptian pencil eyeliner in Kajal. Need a nice tip on that. Let me just go ahead and give that a little bit of a sharpen. Okay. We're going to go from the outside corner all the way to where that blue stops. Right there. Same thing on the other side, outside corner. All the way to where that blue stops. A little more than halfway. On the lash line, we're going to do it on the lower lid, right in that lash line, and you're going to go about 2/3 of the way across there. So we're going to go from that outside corner, right in that lash line. Now this is going to lend itself nicely for also lining the water line. We're going to do the top and the bottom water line. So we're just going to go here. We want to make sure that the liner that we put in the lashes meets that waterline liner. We don't need a gap there. There you go. And then we're going to do the top waterline as well. So we're just going to come right up here, right under that. And hit that top water line too. There we go. Now I want to make sure that we got a nice, perfect, clean line where we're going to put our lashes. So we're going to mix up and we're going to grab this one. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in the color black. Store this one tip down so it's always going to be nice and ready for you. We're going to go from the outside corner. Just a nice thin line right on that lash line. That's going to give you a nice runway for putting your false eyelashes. And then if you should happen to get a little too high, too low, too whatever with your lashes, it's going to give you a little insurance, forgiveness, and covering. Okay, we're just going all the way from the left side to the right side. There we go. Nice. I am going to take my bullet, and as I got closer, I was seeing there's a little bit of, so with this particular thing, you're just going to press that bullet into it, and you can see it gets it on it. So we're going to come underneath here, and we're going to clean up. And brighten that area under the eye. There you go. Oh, that's coming out really pretty. We'll put our highlighter back on in just a second. Okay, so now we need to do our brows because you have to or you look weird. So here we go. I'm gonna take I got like it's fading. I think they're doing the water here, and so I got like a premature fading happening. But I do got the blue on the side there. So let's go ahead and grab whatever your brow product is. Mine is the Lime Crime Bushy Brow, and this is the shade what is it called? It's Anime. That's the name. So I'm gonna take that Anime. It's like a pomade pencil. And whatever your brow product is, you can go ahead and do that now. So I'm just going to use short strokes and follow that brow around. And give a nice tip on the end. And I'm going to come back in and fill up just a little bit above it. I've got very thin brows, so we're going to make them appear thicker than they are. And then let's do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll brush them out. So right here, we're going to flick it up. We're going to follow it around with short strokes. Give it a little tail. We're going to come back in and fill over the top just a little bit to make them thicker. Let me bring it in just a little bit. My brows are also very wide set, so I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now on the other end of this is a brush. So we're just going to take that and just sort of brush through, make sure all the hairs are going the right direction. We don't have any clumps of product. And I do see where I've got a little flicking, so I'm just going to use this to kind of dust off. There we go. Okay. And it looks like I have a little tiny, there we go. A little extra up there. So let's go ahead and mascara our brows now. So we are not going to mascara our brows today. Let's grab our mascara. I'm using the Superhero It Cosmetics. This is the waterproof. And then we're going to use the Tweezer Man Great Grip Onyx Eyelash Curler. Hey, I actually got it right today. Okay. And then our lashes will be good to go. So, okay. Let's see. Ooh, ooh. Grabbing the eyelash curler first. We're going to find our sweet spot for pinching those lashes into a curl. So, you want to make sure that this is crimping the lashes, but it's not pinching your eyelid. So if you feel any pain at all, please release it and pull it out just a smidge and try it again. So here we go. We're just going to get a little bit of a curl. So say our verse. Here we go. It only takes a spark, remember, to set off a forest fire. A careless or wrongly placed word out of your mouth can do that. By our speech, we ruin the world, turn harmony to chaos, throw mud on a reputation, send the whole world up in smoke and go up in smoke with it. Smoke right from the pit of hell. Same thing on the other side. Find your sweet spot. Get it set. There we go. It only takes a spark, remember, to set off a forest fire. A careless or wrongly placed word out of your mouth can do that. By our speech, we can ruin the world, turn harmony to chaos, throw mud on a reputation, send the whole world up in smoke and go up in smoke with it. Smoke right from the pit of hell. Okay, that was a good curl. We're going to have a good curl today, ladies. Okay, I'm going to grab that mascara. We're just doing a light coat on the top because we're going to put lashes on, but we want our lashes to blend in. So make sure you're sweeping back on the tips. Just giving yourself a little extra volume. That was actually a really good curl with that verse. I need to remember that. Call it the eyelash verse. Okay. I'm going to get some on the other side. Make sure you're getting in on those little ones on the inside corners as well. Sweeping back on the tips again. Using the tip of that brush to really get the outside corner lashes. Okay, now I'm going to need my little mirror so I can do the bottom ones. Now, we're not getting false lashes on the bottom, so make sure you give those an appropriate coat of mascara. We're going to go all the way from root to tip here. We gave that nice waterline liner, so we want to make sure that, you know, we don't have any gap in coverage there. Everything should be going black to black. Getting those outside little tiny fine hairs. There we go. Let's go ahead and do the other side. My goodness, I have such a hard time with this one. I'm going to try to not turn the light off on you this time. Oh, that's stimulating. What is that? Okay. My dad would call that a gooby. Just a hunk of mascara or ketchup that is where it doesn't belong. Okay, so let's try that again. There we go. I think it came from when I did the top lashes, not sure. Okay, and again, we're sweeping back on those tips. And I think this tube of mascara is just about at the end of his little life. You know that it's time to replace your mascara when you start getting what I just described. That little kind of, well, like I said, I described it as a gooby. The little clumpy thing. We were just having this conversation at work the other day. So you're supposed to replace your mascara every month. And so usually I do mine, I don't know, every month, month and a half, somewhere in there. If you're wearing it on a daily basis, your tube of mascara is probably going to start to dry out like this one right here is. It's just a thing that happens with it. So, okay, yay. Yeah, the blue is super, super pretty, isn't it? It's just a nice little hint of it in there, but I like the little accent and putting it on the inside there. It just is a nice balance. So, what kind of lash we doing today? Today we're gonna step back and do a little Egypt light. This is Juvia's Place. This one is not a flare like I usually do, but I love the unevenness of the lash. You've got the longs and the shorts. I don't know. I just like the way that it makes your eye look. And I also think when you do intense colors like this, I think it really lends itself to kind of distracting from the intensity of colors that you have, but yet encouraging you to look in deeper at the colors that are there. So it's just kind of a nice little blend of thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to grab, oh, wrong thing, not that one. I'm going to grab my little tools here. I'm going to take that lash off of there just like that. These have already been trimmed, but if you are grabbing a new set of lashes, then you're going to want to make sure that you trim from the outside edge. You're going to use a tool like this one to kind of hold it in place for you. and then you're just dry fit it. You just kind of hold it there. Almost everybody has to trim a little something off, unless you just have wonderfully beautiful bigger eyes, in which case I'm very jealous of you. Okay, so let me see. Sometimes it takes me a second to realize what is the inside when it's not a flare and it's not super obvious where the inside of the lash is. Sometimes it takes a second. So let me see what I got happening here. There's something weird stuck to this one. So, okay. And today we're going to be using a Kiss lash adhesive. I am still in love with this strip lash adhesive right here. It's got the aloe on it, so it's good for your lashes. It stays nice. It gives that little, I'm going to call it a rubbery texture, which makes it super easy to take them off without your lashes like ripping or anything like that. So I'm going to take this strip lash right here. We're going to take the adhesive. We're going to put it on the front of that band. And then we're going to turn it like this, and we're going to get it just right there on the back side of that band. Making sure that we pay special attention to the adhesive on the corners, as we do not want lifting as we go throughout our day. So I'm going to grab the other one. We're going to do that same thing right on the top of that band. And then we're going to turn it and get it on the back side of that band. Okay. Then we'll recap that. That's going to take a couple of seconds to just kind of dry down a little bit. You'll know that it is when it is ready, because when you first put it on, it's very, very shiny. And then when it's ready to go, it's going to kind of get a little bit clear in some spots, and you'll see it kind of loses its shininess just a little bit. So we'll talk for just a second. Let that do its magic here. And I'm going to go with, which one is this one? I'm going to think this one is this one. Okay, I have no idea. So we're going to put it right in the middle. You're going to set it down on that eyeliner line you did. And then we're going to walk it to the outside edge. And then we're going to walk it to the inside edge. And we're putting it on the eyeliner, the liquid eyeliner line that you did. We want them to be together in one spot. So we're going to take this and we're just going to kind of pinch them together. Make sure they are occupying the same space. You should not see a gap between your false lash and your lashes. If there is, just kind of come behind it like this, and just above that band, just sort of crimp it. Just pinch it down a little bit, and that will help it to go back where it's supposed to. It'll bring it down just a little bit. So there we go. You can see what it looks like now if you have the lash on or if you don't have the lash. I think the lash definitely breaks it up and really draws you into the eye. Let me see here. There we go. So now let's go ahead and get the second one on. Again, right there in the middle. Then we're going to do the outside corner. And then the inside corner. I want to make sure that everybody is in the same space. So I'm just going to go above that lash line there. Just kind of press them together. Here we go. Going to use the tip of that. Make sure that my lashes are all worked in there. And I feel like there's some kind of spacey thing happening over here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now, when you get your lashes on, one thing that you should be able to see, when you look down, you should be able to see your lash is right on that eyeliner line so that they look like they are like one thing seamlessly together. If not, you can go back in with your eyeliner after the fact and touch that up, but it's just easier if you get it right. from the get-go, and then you don't have to come back and do things. Now, wow, I'm in love with this. It's so pretty. Okay, so now I promised you we were going to come back and do something to our lips. So now we've got all this wonderful blending and shadow and color and blue and all these things happening up here. But I need a little something down here. So I'm going to come into the Afro-Galactic palette. And we're just going to use the tip of our finger. And we're going to go into, let's do this one. We're going to go into Discovery right here. It may not be pink enough, but we're going to try it. So tip of your finger, Discovery right here. No, it's not pink enough. We're going to go into Light. There you go. And I'm just going to tap that out a little bit. You can see it just gave us a little bit of ombre pink. And because this is the Everlasting liquid lipstick, it's already dried down. So a shadow is a great way to get a little dimension and color into the lip. So you can see what we got here now. And then here's what we got. Okay, nice. I am super excited. So now that we got this all done, let's do a little, I promised we were going to come back and put a little highlighter back on because we were, I was a little aggressive with my wiping with my bullet. So I'm going to grab that highlighter. I'm going to go right here, just right on the top here. And then I did have that little mishap with that blue right there. So we're just going to go right there and get that off. Okay. Yeah, never a dull moment. Okay, now we don't want this to move all day. We want this to stay. So I'm going to grab that Juvia's Place, Ready, Set, Sealed. Give that a little bit of the shake. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. So, there we go. Nice to have you with us. And I'm glad that you like those lips. Super fun. I love an exciting lip. So we're going to shake that. Going to give it a spray. There we go. And now we are good to go for the rest of the day. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It has been a delight to hang out with you. I've enjoyed chatting with you. You're a little bit quiet today, but it's been great. So I look forward to seeing you throughout the week on a little bit of makeup and whole lot of Jesus.com or on social media, every place, but really Facebook. Don't try to go to Facebook because I won't be able to see you there. Okay, so let's give a little bit of a review. I've lost my mouse. We're going to give a little bit of a review for the verses that we have been working on. So we're going to go over to chapter 3, verse 1. And so I have not done a super good job of the verses. So I'm going to do a little cheating here. So just being honest with you. So I love the song to this. So I need to do more listening so I can get more memorizing happening. Okay, so I've got to sneeze. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. Don't be in any rush to become a teacher, my friend. Teaching is highly responsible work. Teachers are held to the strictest standards, and none of us is perfectly qualified. We get it nearly wrong. No, we get it wrong nearly all the time. Oh, no. We get it wrong nearly every time we open our mouths. That's it. If you could find someone whose speech was perfectly true, you'd have a perfect person in perfect control of their life. And then last week we did a bit in the a bit in a horse's let's see, a bit in the mouth of a horse controls the whole horse. There we go. A small rudder on a huge ship in the hands of a skilled captain sets a course in the face of the strongest winds. A word out of your mouth may seem of no account, but it can accomplish nearly everything or destroy it. And then we got our verse for this week. It only takes a spark to set off a forest fire. A careless, wrong-placed word out of the mouth can do that. By our speech, we can ruin the world. You know what? I'm not flicking the pages. How about if we do that? There we go. And here we are. Sorry. Okay, so it only takes a spark, remember, to set off a forest fire. A careless or wrong-placed word out of your mouth can do that. By our speech, we can ruin the world, turn harmony to chaos, throw mud on a reputation, send the whole world up in smoke, and go up in smoke with it, smoke right from the pit of hell. Okay, so that is our review for this week. And again, just a reminder that all of these scriptures are coming from Color Me James, which is a book available on my website, on Amazon. Gosh, I don't even know all the places, but you can get it in an ebook. Easiest way, well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. I gotta wait for you to get it for free. It's an ebook, it's in paperback, it's in spiral. That is going to walk you through the beginning of James all the way through the end of James. And how can you get that book for free? I'm so glad you asked. So on YouTube, if you go to YouTube and you're on the channel at Little Makeup, Lot of Jesus, if you'll do /join at the end of that, that will take you to the YouTube membership. On the YouTube membership, that is a way for you to support the mission and to get your ebook for free. So if you do the Cherish Queen membership level, follow the directions so you can get connected to the mailing list, the email list on that, because that's how it's going to get delivered to you. But Cherish Queen level gets you the ebook for free. And then every month it's just going to automatically come from your account, and it's going to help support the mission here. And I greatly appreciate that. We all greatly appreciate that. So that is the Beauty and Grace Insider that we have. There's 3 different membership levels, so be sure to check those out. Okay, so let me send you out in a blessing this week. It's been a joy to be here with you. So the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, what a delight it has been to hang out this morning with each one of these beautiful women. I just pray that you would give them strength today, encouragement, help them to remember to take time today celebrating that they are a woman of God, a child of the Most High King. And I pray that you would help us to enjoy our womanhood, Father, whether that be with makeup, a lot of makeup, a little makeup, no makeup at all. I just pray that you would help us to remember that beauty on the outside is kind of cool, but beauty on the inside is what really matters. And I pray that you would help us this week to enjoy our Color Me James week that we've got, that we would be diligent about our efforts in study, that we would remember to write those verses out, to color the page, to do all the things, Father. And I believe this week we also have the privilege of getting to do one of those memorable moments where you reach out and you thank and love on someone. So I just pray that you would send us out this week in grace and peace, in mercy and joy. In all these things I pray in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Well, again, it has been a delight to hang out with you. Let me show you what you got in store for you this week. I told you this week is going to be a matching list. So we've got that. And then you've got your coloring page for this week. Does that look familiar? Yes, because you're going to see her on your memory verse graphics that come out so that you can store that on your phone, use those as flashcards, have that be your phone wallpaper. I just love every time I flip open my phone, I get an opportunity to read through that verse. So it's like built-in practice for you. So that is all in store for you. And again, I just cannot wait to see you this week. Thanks for being here today. Love you. God bless you. Mwah.